Hello and welcome to another stream. Today we'll be painting, or I'll be painting, Commander Farsight. As you might see here in the picture, is the old Farsight, and yes, he's missing his sword and his shield. The reason for that is I remade him, and I elongated his sword. I replaced the shield. I gave him another look with the new commander models. That means here we got, the old one small and tiny, and the new one big and bulky. Just converted him yesterday. So today this will be what I am painting. I already airbrushed the whole model I base coated him with Chaos Black and fogged him with Gray Sear, as you might see here. Then I airbrushed the whole mini with, give me a second. No, that's brown. Focus, cam, focus. With 71039 Hull Red by Weichel. And after that I gave it let's say a light airbrush highlight thing with fire red, and that's this one here, Rojo Fuego, or the 71084 fire red by Weichel. The rest of the mini will be painted by with Games Workshop colors actually, and that's where we'll start. So first thing I'll do is paint all the black of the mini. That means all the joints, the undersuit of the armor. Give it a good shape like always. Peter was helping too. It's always helping. What brush will I use? I think I'll use the size 1 brush here. Hello and welcome to the chat. Okay, and here we go with one big pro of this model. Not of this model, of this handle. You can unscrew the handle itself. So that's how I'll paint the model actually, because it's way too high with the handle below. Okay. So if there are any questions of about how I made the mini or what parts I used, just ask them in the chat, and I can give you a small review of the pieces I used for this model. And yes, it's almost the same pose as the original. I wanted it to be to resemble the original in a bigger way, and I found it here. Nice. If the music is too loud, tell me. I can turn it down. Shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, when I'm done painting the black, I'll be actually painting the base, because all that will possibly touch the base after that is red, and I think I have enough brush control to prevent myself from painting the base red, and I'm edge highlighting. So I'll be finishing the base, and after that I'll be painting the red parts of the mini, or the black highlights and the red parts in the end. And yeah, that's more or less the whole mini done then, because it's just a big chunky suit of armor. If I'm not talking, sorry for that. I'm trying to focus on the mini. But if there are any questions in the chat, I'll answer them as fast as I can. Otherwise, if you don't want to hear me talking or explaining anything, just listen to some nice music from filmmusic.io. Now that I'm done assembling the mini, by the way, I realize I shouldn't have glued it all together. Doesn't make it that easy to paint. Stupid me. Black. One of the more complicated parts of Tau suits, in my opinion. It's to decide what parts are black and what parts are in the normal skin color, because there are so many different parts that would look nice in another color or with a contrast to the armor. Me again. Hello and welcome to the chat. I'm painting Commander Farsight. I just converted this model yesterday and already base coated and airbrushed it. So today's the brushwork part. And hopefully I'll get this model done before I have to go to work tonight. This song finally became one of my favorite songs in terms of classical music covered to become something cinematic. When I hear that, was like, oh my god, I have to use this for mini. Let's make that black too. And sorry if it looks a little derpy how I'm painting here. It's a weird position to paint like that. The legs are almost done. This model is pretty like consuming. Go in there with another brush size. I'm going for, come on, focus, size 0 here. And I'm still using the Lucre brushes from Germany that I bought by or in the shop of Big Panda V. Come here. Well, actually, I think if possible, I should rip off one of the arms, both. Not possible. And not possible. Okay. But the head has to go. At least. Okay. So, staying with the size 0. Still the inside of the armor. Question is, what parts are black and what parts are red? I think I'll be going for those vents left and right for black, and the torso joint here. Yeah, so as you might see, sub-assembling is a good thing. Don't be stupid like me. Don't assemble a whole mini. Not if it's a mini like this. And again, you get hair. Here we go. So one arm is free. I'll destroy the other arm, trying to get it off. But at least a little better to reach now. The thing is, I don't want to paint too much of the armor in black because it's Farsight and it's all about the red. I'd love to paint the lower part of the torso in black. So this part where I'm painting it at the moment. Just a little more like this part here. But I think that would be too much. So you might see that I'm doing a lot of minor mistakes here. I'm painting on the red, but that's not a problem. I'll just repaint those parts with what I call color red. So nulo problemo. So YouTube is telling me again that I'm live. Thanks, YouTube. Didn't realize that. It's a little more fiddly here. Focus, camera, focus. Yeah. I think I'll paint this part gold later on, but I never paint gold over a red base coat. I have no idea why. I mean, it sure would look good as well, but I'm a black base coat human. Come here, you little fool. Like this, I can even reach the parts I'm trying to paint. When I'm clicking or doing something other than painting here, I'll probably be watching reference pictures of Commander Farsight and artworks of this model or the character to get an idea where I should paint black and where I should paint red, like this here. I mean, Farsight doesn't have those fins where his jets are fixed. He actually has the jets just coming off his torso armor, like that. So I have to equalize. But what color is this? Here we go. Red, 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 black. Yeah, gluing the sword or the sword arm to the torso was stupid. But hey. Can paint even that. Just a little more complicated. I'll be painting all those joints in gold later on, because that's my main color for toe joints. Actually, I'm painting them on gold always. I have no idea why, but I like the looks. So this will be painted with another brush. Okay, so the big parts of the model are done. Coming to the sub-assembled parts. The white parts here inside of the arm are damaged plastic because I ripped off the arm. So it's not putty or something like that. That's stupid me. I think I'll have to rip off the shield too, because the inside of the shield is pretty hard to reach and has to be black too, in my opinion. And also there are parts I'll have to repaint with red. And yeah, the red looks sort of dull at the moment, but when I'm done with the recess shading, it'll look way more Farsight-y, if you know what I mean. So it'll get darker. I'm just not sure if I'll be recess shading it with Flesh Tear's red or with the Silicano gray. Okay. So much for the inside of the shield. Let's take a look at the weapon. Pretty red. His fingers are red. That's gold, okay. Here we go. So the upper part is black and the front is black, okay. I can do that. So what are you guys painting or doing at the moment? Except listening to me talking shit. So I'll be painting this lower part here in black too. I think those spikes will become gray later on. Or I'll just leave them red. I have no idea. Depends on what looks better at the time that I'm painting it. Like I said, I'm not going in with a plan when I try to paint anything. Just do it and decide what looks good while painting it. for a smaller brush. Going for the Blue Priest size 0 again. And like I said, the dull look of this red will vanish when I'm done with the recess shading. It'll look much darker, and when I'm then done with the highlighting, it'll look bright in the right spots and dark in the others. So yeah. This brush starts dying eventually. I mean, I'm using it since I think October 2020. It's the old brush in terms of brush ages. I'm painting now those joints in between the armor plates of his fingers. That's a little too much color. There we go. To reach again. Yeah, like I said, sub-assembling would have been the way to go here, but I'm not good at waiting. That's why I just glued the whole mini together and wanted to see how it looks assembled. Not the best of decisions. Hey Anton, and welcome back to the stream. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? So, what is wrong with this video? Okay. Here we go. Oh, nice, a Titan. Yeah, you said you buy one. So, loyalist or traitor? Nice. So did you add a lot of spikes on the Titan in this case? Or is it just the Traitor Heraldry before it starts mutating? Now we're coming to all those details that'll get black, like all the vents. Again, let's take a look at Farsight. That's gray, okay. So, the insides here, again black too. The original Farsight model has lights on the bottom of its torso. The new Commander models, however, have those lights on top. So it's more like shoulder lights would make sense, because having two lights on the bottom of your torso will block the light every time you use your shield, so yeah. Or you have to stay pretty open all the time without any sort of defense. That's not that good. Okay, so that's done. There are still more tiny pieces to be painted black, like with all the commander models. That's actually my first new commander suit I'm actually painting. All my other suits are just base coated and that's it. Some of them are airbrushed. And I mean, I have quite a lot of commanders I want to paint. Like my Avengers project. This one here. Give me a second. Sitting there in superhero pose. He needs some color too. But first we'll wait and see what the new Tau Codex will bring. Because maybe he needs other weapons. If the rockets aren't good anymore later on. Who knows? I mean, even now the rockets on Tau Commanders are pretty mediocre, aren't they? I mean, it's 2 shots, strength 7, -1, E3 damage, and you have to upgrade him to get -2, and you have to spend quite a lot of points to get him more than 2 shots, and that's sehr schul. I don't like that fact at the moment. Those models are so damn expensive in comparison to other factions. I mean, they do not that much. Even Farsight. I mean, he's 130 points. That makes him one of the cheapest commanders. But he has not even 1 shot. Okay, sorry. He has 2 shots. What is okay-ish, but it's strength 6 -3, 2 damage. So, okay. And the 2 shots are only when you are within, I think, any inch, no, sorry, 12 inches or something like that. Yeah, to look at another picture from front down here. That is red 2 with a black rim. That's okay. I can do that. So as you see, for tiny parts to work, size 0 is absolutely okay. Wouldn't be that easy with the size 1 brush, but size 0 works for almost everything. I mean, I use this for faces, for eyes, for everything. And I'm using this size 0 brush for half a year by now. And it still lives. Come here. Piece of shit. I think those should get black too. And as soon as I'm done with the torso, I'll be painting the jets, or the jetpacks. Which is, by the way, a modulated jetpack of a Cold Star commander. Here we go. So let's get another black rim right here. So Anton, if you're still there, in what colors are you painting your Titan? Tito. Oh, good, I think. Brush that. That's okay too. Here is one more piece to be painted black. Okay. And even more rims. Stupid me. Yeah, like I said, that's my first commander I'm really painting, so there will be some of those moments when I realize, oh, look there, that's another piece I have to paint in another color. I mean, I experienced the model already when building it, but painting the model is like discovering, or painting a new model is like discovering the model all anew. If you hear something snoring, that's my cat. He's again sleeping on my lap. Like he normally does when I'm painting. Ah, nice. So, a big silver monstrosity with a lot of hazard stripes, I guess. I imagine that looks great. And more pieces to paint behind. So, are you a Iron Warrior player, anyways, or is it just like you always wanted to paint a Iron Warrior model or Titan? Okay, I think I found all the parts that have to be black, almost. Find just some more. And when those vents are painted black, I'll finally drink a sip of my coffee that is waiting here for way too long by now. That's okay. So done. That's good too. I guess time for my coffee. Okay. Oh, cat, my legs. Okay, give me a second. My brother actually had a good idea. Thank you. And I'm back. Okay, so the shield part is done. There are some pieces that have to be repainted soon. I'll go for my standard pattern spike brick. That drill is a little big. Okay, so I'm drilling a hole into the neck, or the throat if you want to. Like that. No, the lever. That's okay. Now I can use this as handle while I'm painting the black parts of the head. And again, the gold parts. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, that's gray, okay. So the black parts that, or the parts that should be black on the head, are painted. Next up, the jetpack. Yeah, actually, my brother told me I should make a story on Instagram and tell the followers that I'm online. I probably should do this every time, but I'm a lazy ass bitch, as one might say. Oh yeah. But I also enjoy doing those mini streams we're doing here with 2 or 3 viewers. Makes it more easy for me to keep up with the chat. And more cat hair. Hi, Woodbury. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? You will become black too, my friend. Like that. Nice. Good old Mark III. I'm painting Commander Farsight. I just kit bashed yesterday. Or I'm painting my version of Commander Farsight, let's say it like that. Thanks, mate. I just posted it on Instagram, how it looks completely assembled. And while painting it here, I realized assembling the model wasn't the best of choices. So I had to rip off the arms again and the head. And the jetpack that I'm painting at the moment. Oh yeah, and the build also kind of had its Primaris treatment, if you want so to call it like that. Just give me a second, I can show you the size comparison. That is hilarious. So that's the original Farsight, and that's mine. Such a tiny difference. Yeah, I tried to redo the pose, but not with the micro stone this Farsight, or the original Farsight is jumping or walking from. So I made this ruin piece thing where he is actually pushing himself up from. Looks better in my opinion. And thanks for sharing that opinion. Again, if you're asking yourself, why is this guy always licking his brush? I'm doing this to restore the tip. A friend of mine just asked me why I'm always sucking on my brush. It's just for the tip. And yes, I'm even sucking it when there's color on the brush, but those small amounts are painting my tongue, and that's all. That's not dangerous. Shouldn't be dangerous, let's say it like that. Black rim. Here we go. That's quite a lot of stuff to paint here. I mean, I painted a lot of XV8 suits, but those commanders have just way more details. in my opinion. Which is okay because they are characters. But still. Yes, evil me, I'm painting a small rim with my size 1 brush. You can do that too, just don't get lazy and use size 1 brushes on pieces to paint that you definitely shouldn't be using big brushes. So that was okay. The inner part here, you'll become black too, because I can. Because I don't like gray. Here we go. So that's one jet. Oh, it's not. Got to paint the inside here. And yes, I'm painting the inside in black. I don't paint any sort of engine special effects on them. At least I don't think I will. Oh yeah, if you guys don't know it yet, because you can't know it, I told no one so far. I know I'm a small channel and a small Instagrammer, but my girlfriend and me just made up some merch stuff. I won't be selling it first, but I'll be wearing my own channel shirts on the next battle reports. I think they should be arriving within the next 10 days. And I'll be wearing those while painting, and maybe while painting, but definitely while filming, recording, battle reports. So there will be one paint, repeat shirt, and a brushes and chainswords shirt in black with red lettering. Can't wait to test them. And I mean, the paint repeat shirt isn't with a brushes and chainswords insignia or something like that, so one can even use it without showing where he bought it from, so that could be nice. And I think it's a nice motto for most hobbyists. So yeah, maybe we'll be selling those in the far future. It's about, I think, 25 to $30 or something like that. I mean, I'm paying, I think, $29 for mine. Maybe we'll get it a little cheaper when selling it. So, as I just read, my brother is online too, and he's watching my stream, or at least he's hearing my voice from one of the many tabs he has opened. And yes, where my voice is coming from is also the tab where the music is coming from. So, hi. Greetings to Konstanz. Oh, sorry, I'm not in the cam here. Stupid. Ooh, we have been 7 people in the chat for about 30 seconds. The numbers are exploding. Hey, Josh. What's up? How are you? Yeah, I thought so. That's that you are Josh, because your name is Josh, isn't it? He's going to be painted fully in about 30 hours, something like that. I have no idea. So yeah, he's doing well, I guess. How about you? Any hobby projects at the moment? Or just skating? Oh, nice. That's quite a lot of stuff you can add there. If you didn't know, we got Anton here, who's called Anton Painting in the chat, who is painting a Iron Warriors Titan at the moment. So, big chunky silver with hazard stripes, and you have the small chunky silver guys with hazard stripes. So anyways, what made you guys become Iron Warriors fans? I mean, is it about your Rabo? Is it the Horus Heresy stories, or is it just the paint scheme? Because, I mean, Iron Warriors are not that popular, aren't they? Or might that be the reason? Are you 40k hipsters? Okay, my coffee is done. I should be waking up by now, soon. One more piece on the torso to paint black is the interior of the neck, or the throat, or I think it's neck. Okay, so black is painted. There is another piece that has to be painted black too. The cool Imperial Fists, because they are traitors? Okay. So, I think I can let this stuff dry by now, and I'll waste my time painting the shield. Means I'll be painting the red of the shield first. That's brown again. That's what I need. More. Good thing about the Vallejo air colors is you have to thin them with water. They are already pretty thin. I'll be going for, I think, 2 or 3 coats here to give it a good coverage. Yeah. Definitely. The bottom part. Just a little more of the red. Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely use Skeleton Hole. That's not cheating. That's absolutely okay. And anyways, if it works, it's not cheating and it's not stupid. So why not? I mean, I'm painting the biggest part of my Space Marine faces by just wraithboning them and applying thinned Gilliman flesh and what is it called? Contrast medium. So that's cheating actually, and it's working, so no one gives a fuck. As long as it looks good. Yeah, I mean, the contrast paints are okay, but I'll never use them for painting a whole mini. It's just I'm using contrast as a way to shade. You know what I mean? So that works pretty fine or pretty well for me. And yeah, I like contrast as shades, and that's all. I mean, they could be or can be okay with organic surfaces like Age of Sigma stuff, where you have a lot of cloth, or I don't know, but they are pretty special if you're painting surfaces like armor, because it's not looking that metallic. That's true, and flesh tear is red. Okay, so we'll have to let this dry here. Let's give it more. Like that. That. Okay, that's okay. And here. Yeah, I just found some parts of the model where the fogging is shining through. And fogging is when you base coat your mini with black, and after that you just make a whitish fog around the mini. So you pre-highlight it for airbrushing, like you can see here on the blade. Okay, letting that dry. I think I'll be painting the head. Like with my normal minis, I'm always painting the head first, because the head is some sort of my my inspiration to go on painting with the mini, because I'm using, I think I'll be using Troll Slayer Orange and Wild Rider Red. So I go for an orange. There are different depictions of Farsight having a orange lens. There are also depictions of him having a blue lens. I mean, it's both okay. In my opinion, it's more like he has a blue lens when everything is fine, and he has a orange lens when he's in battle or combating. The thing is, the model has already quite a lot of red. So would orange look that good? I don't think so. And if I want to draw attention to the head, I think I should be going for blue actually, but you know what? Let's start with the gray, because that's what will cover the biggest part of the head. And when we see the head painted in gray, maybe it becomes a little easier to pick between the orange and the blue. But like I said, in my opinion, the orange is in combat, and the blue is in peace mode, if you want to. So my model is obviously charging or jumping in or something that would be combat-y, in my opinion. So for the gray, I'm going for Dawnstone. That's the gray I'm using for all my Farsight models as a base. I'll then Reeds shade it with Basilicanum Gray, and after that I'll highlight it with, again, Dawnstone and Stratum Gray and stuff like that. So yeah, should be fine. Here. Ah yes, the wildfire red is pretty good. So when I'm painting orange lenses, I'm always using, or mostly, I'm using a red tone. Like White Rider Red is the exact middle path between red and orange, in my opinion. So I'll be using Wild Rider Red as a base, and then I'll start highlighting it with Troll Slayer Orange and Uriel Yellow, so that the highest color will be Uriel Yellow with a tiny dot of white, and the deepest color will be Wild Rider Red, what will make the whole lens look pretty orange in the end. Yeah, I mean, painting the model is the one part. Highlighting is the other part. And I think you've seen my models. I'm highlighting a lot. I think I can even go for a orangey shine here inside of the sensor array, or head. Let's call it head for the remainder of the video. As you might see, the coverage capabilities of Dawnstone are not the best. Still a little ready. That's not a problem. I'll be painting 2 coats anyways. And supported by my wet palette, they will be thin. So, in remembrance of our Lord and Savior Duncan Rhodes, 2 thin coats. Shit, that rhymes. Thanks, Anson. Yeah, the song that is playing right now is a little cheeky. Little Star Wars sound alike. There are pretty good cases by IKEA. I bought all my 5 displays there. Oh, cabinets, sorry. I mean cabinets. Okay, and the next round of gray. So, new coat. Thinning it down again. And as we Germans say, gib ihm dreckig. Where are you from, Josh? Because I might provide you with prices of the cabinets when you're from the European side of the world. If you're from the US, I have no idea what prices they use there, or they have there, for their IKEA cabinets. At least in Germany, it's I paid 50 euros, I think, for one cabinet, and that's pretty good. So once again, it's time to let the color dry, otherwise I'll be ripping off the color freshly applied. In the meanwhile, I'll be applying some white, or in this case, some Celestial Gray, because Celestial Gray is a base color. That means it has more pigments than Ulthuan Gray. What means I can base the white parts way better, and later on paint Ulthuan Gray above it, or on it, on top of it, whatever, and get a nice off-white. It's okay not to paint the most accurate here, because I'll be recess shading this stuff here with Basilicanum Gray, and the white will disappear in the end, so nullo problemo. Again. Just make sure you paint it all the same in this recess, so it won't look stainy in the end when you're recess shading it. Just like that. And cat hair. Okay. So the inside of those letters. With the lettering, you should be taken care of getting all those recessed areas with your off-white, because when the letters are becoming black later on, you won't see the contrast if there is still black on the inside. So carefully paint the inner parts of the letters with white too. Sorry when I'm slowing down here while talking, but I'm not good at multitasking. Really not. At least in terms of painting. Same goes for my grammar. I'm not a native English-speaking person, as you might have realized. And I'm painting and talking at the same time. There might appear mistakes. Yeah. I might be mistaken, I mean. Okay, so that's our base coat in white. Pretty messy, but that'll work, trust me. There's nothing to paint white on the inside. That means we can take a look at the head. Looks pretty dried to me. So, time for recess shading. Silicon gray, because that's the god color. And I'm applying it from my wet palette. Keeps it moist. And since I'm applying it as a recess shade and not as a color for the whole head, shouldn't be a problem. For the formula of the contrast color. Those cat hair. And again, painting those recessed areas here, you can make small mistakes like I did here, painting the top levels or other pieces outside of the area you wanted to paint, but that's not a problem because we'll be highlighting this later on, and that means we'll paint some of the original color over it anyway, so whatever. That Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, what would be more interesting for you to watch, a battle report, Tau versus Atmac, sorry, Tau versus Sisters of Silence, or Tau versus Necrons, or even Tau versus Space Marines, or Blood Angels, or Eldar versus versus Sisters, Atmac, Harlequins. I mean, we could even play Tau versus Harlequins, but we all know who would win this game, I guess. The current meta, Harlequins are a little too much for me. At least for my Tau. I think my Blood Angels can sustain, my Flesh Terror, sorry, can sustain them, but they'll fuck up my Tau so hard I won't be able to stay or to stand for quite a while. Run. I remember my last tournament. Big fun. speed is lagging. Nice.
Run.
Yeah, come here. Like that. Come on, bitch.
Run.
Okay, so recess shade done. A little piece that can be shaded too, like that. And like that. Okay, so next up I'll clean up the space here a little. Like that. I now can apply another coat of the hull red on the shield and on the weapon. It's still usable for my wet pellet because that's what wet pellets are for. This will be gold later on, so that looks good, I think. Okay. Might have to drill a little deeper because the head is wiggling. Like that. Here we are. That head, by the way, is the sensor array of the Ghost Keel battlesuit that is normally sticked to its cloaking device on the right side, or his whatever device on the left side, sorry, on the right side. Okay. And like I said, again, Dawnstone, just to correct those minor errors I did, you might have done. Hello and welcome to the chat. I'm painting Commander Farsight, but I'm not painting the original model, I'm painting the self-made one. For those of you who are new, I'm painting the head while the rest of the body is drying. And for my own, not inspiration, but motivation, that's the word. Because seeing the head all the time, I know I have to paint the body, and that keeps me focused and keeps me on track painting. As we all know, this hobby problem. You start one thing, and all of a sudden a new side project appears. With having 1 or 2 parts of the model done, I can prevent myself from starting side projects. That works for me at least. And again, if the music is too loud or if there are any issues with the stream, please tell me. I think I can solve those problems if there are any. Or if it's too quiet, I can turn it up. Works this way too. Okay, there's one more part to paint, and that's it for the gray base. Okay, so here we are with the base color. There is one more piece to paint black. Like always, there are small parts of the model you realized you didn't paint. Where is my black? There. Okay, and now we're getting to a point where the drill doesn't provide me the sort of grip I need to paint the model. That means I'll be getting off the drill's handle and stick the drilled head onto a cork or something like that. That is better to hold, because I'll now start applying details. And as you might see, my hand positioning is sort of bad at the moment. That's better. Okay. Coming to the highlights. This will be a character. That means I'll be highlighting a little more specific. You want to call it like that? I'll be starting with... good question. I don't think I'll be using Administratum Gray here. I'll just mix my Dawnstone with Celestial Gray. Right on palette here. It's almost a little too bright. A good sip of water, and it's better. And cat hair. Yeah, that's good. Okay, like with all my highlights, I used not enough water. I know with all my highlights, I'll be applying the first highlight in a thick line, like about 1 millimeter or something like that. Just like that. And later on I'll be applying the lines smaller and smaller, and by that I mean I'll be applying the next highlight in a thickness of, I think, about 0.5 millimeter, and the last highlight in a thickness of, let's say, 1/10, so more or less a sharp edge highlight. That'll look make the gray look a little more radiant, and will definitely draw attention to the head. What is the thing I'm aiming for painting this model? Or yeah, it's not exactly what I'm aiming for, but you should make sure that the head is the brightest part of your mini. because that's where the face and the character sits. And again, a cat hair. I don't know if you can see it like I do here, but the first coat on the front of the head, or the sensor array head thing, is already dried. And it's not that much brighter than the original Dawnstone. But still, there is a difference. And I'm achieving this effect by mixing my color with a lot of water and not going for the brightest possible option, but for the next brightness level, you can say, I think. And the other trick is start painting at the bottom and draw your brush in the direction where it should be brightest, and moves the drop with the most pigments towards the direction you want it to, or you want the most light to. So always draw in direction of the top, because light comes from the top, or should be coming from the top. Otherwise you should be aiming for a special effect lightning or OSL or something like that. Okay, so that wasn't good. Better. Painting in there shouldn't be a problem, but I'm, as I mentioned before, lazy. And I don't want to paint black again. Not at the moment, at least. That's why I'm just correcting it with a little over the clean brush. So if you have any questions, just ask them in the chat. I opened the chat here to read your questions, and I think I can answer almost everything. So don't be afraid to write any questions. But stay away from political talk here, please. Re-moisten it with a little water, even if it's on the wet palette. Hey. So that should be it for the first highlight, at least at the top of the model. And again, adding a little water, painting the whole front part here. That looks pretty bright by now, but that's only because it's wet. When it's dry, it'll be way darker. Okay, so that's the first highlight on the gray done. I'll be mixing in a little more celestial gray. And with little, I mean a lot. So we're almost at pure celestial gray. Plus 1 nuance of dawnstone. Now I think about 75% celestial gray and 25% dawnstone gray. So that's the next step of highlight. I'll be repeating this for all the lines here. In small stripes. Plus the a lot of water variant. Sorry when I'm not talking. Trying to fix my thoughts on the model at the moment. I'll pay attention to the model at the moment, sorry. And as you might guess by me painting the head, and I have no idea how long I'm streaming now, 2 hours or something like that. The whole model will take quite a while to paint. But he'll be my Supreme Leader, and my Supreme Leader should look ace. And that's why I take the time and paint it like I'm doing it at the moment. And I'm pretty sure Farsight will get the Supreme Leader squad slot 2 in the near future of 40k or of the Tau Codex. What do you guys think? Will he get his own Codex supplement? Or will we get our own Codex supplement, like a Space Marine chapter? Or will Farsight be again integrated into the Tau Codex like it always was? I'd love to see a special supplement for Farsight. And to be able to pick the characters of the Farsight enclaves separately, not picking them all as the 8, because the 8 suck. Okay, again, a lot of water. This earpiece thing. And my brush is losing his tip more and more, sadly. But like I said, he's old. Almost ancient. And again, like the pro I am, I just painted right into the recess. Nice. By the way, I'm rolling my brush inside my color. That provides me a better tip. At least that's what I think about it. And the brush is now at a point where even the rolling isn't helpful anymore, so those will be the last few stripes that this brush will paint, at least in this sort of scale, so he won't be used for details anymore. But that's not a problem. I have more of them because I like them. Yeah, that's it. So that's how it looks at the moment. Pretty much done. Those tiny hair there coming off the tip are ruining the tip for me. Here we go. A new size 0 brush from Lupri. Yeah, way better. Another way to prove that brushes make differences. And I mean, with Lupri, we're not talking about expensive brushes. I mean, this one here is, I think, €3 or something like that. That's absolutely okay for a brush. There are other companies taking way more money for brushes. James. That have way worse quality. Are you guys using any sort of lenses or something like that to paint, or are you just like me holding the mini right into your face to see what you're doing? Because I know a lot of people using those painting goggles or whatever they're called. Never used them. I have no idea how I would be painting with them. I mean, Sometimes I'm so close with the mini that I almost can smell its breath if it had some. And I'm getting older. I can feel it. After painting a mini, my eyes need about, I think, 5 to 6 minutes to get their shit together and see normal again. Because I won't be seeing sharp on far distances after painting. No, those fruit were totally okay. I brushed their teeth before I painted them. Yes, I think if there would be any sort of breath on the minis, fruit would be worst. Or maybe Chaos Demons. Or Orcs. Actually, I think Orcs. Yeah, and painting the Groot, I wasn't getting them that close to my face because I didn't paint that much detail there. I try to paint them so the camera can see what I'm doing. That means I held them a little further away. I wasn't using the cam like I'm doing it right now. The only thing I had to get a little closer to paint were their eyes, because I made their irises yellow and their pupils. Is it pupils? Black. That took a little more effort. The rest was more like dry brushing. Goodbye, Anton. See you later. And thanks. A little more detail highlighting here already, and with that I'd say this color is done. Okay, so that's the second stage of highlighting. Third stage. That's pure celestial gray now. And a lot of cat hair on my wet palette. I love my cats. Add in a lot of white. A lot of white, a lot of water, I mean. Then, like always, when it should flow nicely, I'm adding a little contrast medium, and we're ready to paint details. But before that, give me some sugar. I think you can see the pure celestial gray is quite bright in comparison, but that's what I'm aiming for here. I'm not painting it everywhere on all the the edges. I'm painting it on the top edges and onto the corners here to give it a more sharp look. If that makes any sense. And we're back to psychedelic music, obviously. Okay. Not that bad. Yeah, that's true. I mean, one of the strongest color combinations for almost all minis is black and red, in my opinion. And hello, Farsight Enclaves. Hello, Flesh Tearers. And in your case, you obviously like red and gray. So that goes for them too, I guess. Okay, so too much color. That's okay. I'll be painting a small stripe of celestial gray right here on the reflection that I painted, or that I built up. But that'll have to wait. First things first, that means edges. Oh boy, a lot of messages here. People want to see memes. I don't have memes at the moment, I'm painting. Anyways, I steal my memes from other persons. Especially from MJG Warhammer. Sorry, MJG Paints, he's called. Okay, here on the fins, or whatever, the comms, so I don't know what they are. I'll be painting only the upper parts with celestial gray. Just give me a second, I saw the message coming up. I'll be reading it in a second. Here we go. I'm not exactly sure how I want to paint the blade. I'll be, as it also, yeah, German. Okay. I'll be browsing the internet today, and I'll also be reading my old Elder codexes to see how the chrome blades are described, and I'll be painting it kind of like that. Maybe something stony, maybe a metallic finish. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, because I mean it's a chrome sword, so it's Eldari, and Eldari and colors are some sort of a special relationship. You get what I mean? So yeah, I know that I'll be painting those inner rimmy things in gold to give it a more ancient look. It's almost a lizard man-y, or the old ones like, but I don't know about the rest. I thought about something blue. I thought about painting it silver and giving it purple or pink lightning that is line highlighted in the middle with black. That could look pretty good, like a like black lights, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure by now. What would be your idea for the blade? I mean, it should have something that reminds of an hidden evil or something like that, because it's a soul sucker blade, isn't it? So yeah. Yeah, exactly. Something Wraith Blade-ish, and maybe some lightning effect on it with, I don't know, with pink horror or something like that. I know pink horror is too bright. Let's say with Screamer Pink highlighted up to white and a small stripe of black right in the middle. It's a negative light thing. Sounds kind of appealing for me. And it would resemble this hidden evil thing. At least a little, I think. So, reflection time. More water. getting somewhere with the celestial gray done, which is almost now. Here we go. Here, there. Okay, so with the celestial gray done, I'll be painting the black inside right now, and for that I'll be using Corvus Gray. Sorry, Corvus Black it is. Actually, it's not that much to do here because there's not that much black. Just like that, and I'm painting it by now because when I'm painting the orange of the eyes and I want to get some shine on there, it's way easier to get a shine on a dark gray tone than to get a shine on a black tone. And a shine is not English, that's German. Ein Schein. I mean a reflection. Sorry. Okay. So I want to get it a grayish black with maybe a little bluish tone to it because it's a cold metal and that will be a warm red. That's why I'm mixing this with Fenrisian gray. Brighten it up. Here we go. And I won't be just painting the head, I'll be vanishing the head too. With my matte varnish, or with the matte varnish I'm using for my other models. I really like that. Sort of marries the colors together, almost like a glaze in the end. A little more Fenrisian gray, and that should be it then. Even a little more. So here we go. Last step for it. How to apply color? Correct. Do not ask me. This sound somehow reminds me of Duncan Rhodes Academy. I have no idea why. Some sort of the style of music he's using to present his models. Okay, done. So, what do you guys think? Should I go for blue? Well, here we are. Should I go for blue lenses or should I go for orange lenses? To give you an example, I made both before. Oops. So the blue lens would look like that. Sort of like that. And the orange lenses would look like that. Which is both nice, in my opinion. Yeah, same here, Woodbury. Hard to say. And green, what I will never do again, would look like this. That's my old Farsight conversion. Okay, so we're both not sure, so let's take a look at the actual Farsight model. That's not visible, thank you, Games Workshop. That's not available. Nice. Okay, so here we have a Farsight with blue lenses. Here we have a Farsight with blue lenses. Blue, blue, blue. There is not even one Farsight with orange lenses. It's just one picture of a Fire Warrior with orange. So I guess blue. And my smartphone is lagging again. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, come on, let's go for blue. So as a base, I'll be using, I think, Lothar in blue, and I'll be working with White Scar. Yeah. Can use the broken brush again. Adding a lot of water, like always. Should be all that I need of blue. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so to make it look shiny or bright, I'll have to go to a almost white level with a white shine reflection. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Again, 2 thin coats. And I'll also be adding quite some contrast medium to this mixture here to make it flow nice. Dry, that's good. Okay, this brush is done. It really is done. Nothing that resembles a tip anymore. Just a ruin. Okay, so that's the beginning of the blue. Since the head will be in this sort of position, I'll be going for the left side to be brighter, do I? If I want to make it look more glowy, I should do the right side, I guess. And that's when we start mixing in the white. And again, a lot more water. Same technique I used before. I'm drawing the brush from top to bottom, or from the place where I need the least pigments to the place where I need the most pigments. Clean the brush first. Doesn't taste well. And again, a lot of water, a little more white. Letting that dry. Using the same color again. I'm almost glazing here now. and that requires time. I'm applying just a few coats of color here to brighten up more and more, as you see. Again, mixing in some water. This takes quite a while now because I added a lot of water, and that means it needs to dry a little longer. Later I'll be glazing this whole thing with Gilliman blue to bring it back to a sort of darker blue. It's not shining too white and too bright. Come here. Here we go. That's okay. We can go for more white. And again, a lot of water and contrast medium. Make it flow better. Clean the brush and glaze again. I need more white. Hey guys, I'm glazing lenses at the moment. Or at least I try to. If you have any questions to what I'm doing, just ask them in the chat. I've opened the chat here on my smartphone. I can read and answer all the questions. Or at least I hope I can answer all the questions. I can read them at least. Okay, and that's the last bit I'm painting here. That's a almost pure white. Right onto the corners, like that. Okay, so here we are. Come on. That's blue whitish lenses now. I'll now use... Oh, that wasn't good. That's Gilliman blue. That blew into some apple juice. Awesome. Tasty. Well, what I wanted to say was I'll now be using Gilliman blue as a glaze. Well, it actually is a glaze already, but I'll thin it down a little more because I can, and apply it around the lens. Just like that, that's good. Tone down the shiny effect here and support the illusion of the glow. If that makes any sense to you. Just like that. Let this dry, and when it dried, I'll apply another coat. Yeah, well, that takes quite a while now. In the meantime, I of course want this to dry upside down. In the meantime, I'll be going back to the shield, applying another coat of my base color, Celestial Gray. Or the off-white I want to achieve later on. Fun thing, before I painted the lenses, this seemed pretty white to me. Now that I painted the lenses, this is absolutely gray. That's how your eyes refocus on colors. So that's the base for the white. And after this is dried, I mean, I still see it's a little moist in there. And not covering everything like it should. Same on you. And when that's dried, I can apply Ulthuan Grey. And Ulthuan Grey is almost white. So, and it's a layer. That means I'll be using more than one step to apply this again. The Gilliman Blue is not dry yet. On the best way too. Here we go, that looks good. Ulthuan Grey. And again, I want it to flow smooth. That's why I add some contrast medium. Getting those pieces out of the way of the camera, so it can focus correctly. Okay. That's way brighter. By the way, it's absolutely okay here to paint into the recesses on the gray surfaces, because we want this to get white, or to seem white. And on white there are no deep gray recesses, so go for it. Okay, so here you see what I was talking about when I said Ulthuan Grey is a layer. I played one layer now, and it has less pigments than the base color. It means the base is shining through. That's not a problem. That actually is what we want. This way I will be having to apply another coat. Oh, there is some Gilliman Blue in my apple juice. Awesome. No! Here. Okay. Time for the second coat. That's a little too much color. That's okay. So now that the color, or the Ulthuan Grey, is dried, we can try to paint the highlighted areas, or the raised areas here, or especially the raised areas. So we have a small yeah, so we have yeah, light shadows. We want to put it like that, which will, or can, save for up later on. Spare us some work, man. I mean, oops. she get away? Letting this dry again. Just apply another thin layer. The color shouldn't be clogging up here because I fit it down quite a lot. So should be fine. Okay. And one will turn around the rim of the shield, or the sigil. Okay, so that's it. White. Take a look at the eyes again. That looks good. So let's get to the second coat of Gilliman Blue. Squeezing out the last drops of this contrast here. Okay, here we go. Next coat. Okay. And this is dried up almost. Applying a little more white. You didn't see what I did here. Here we go. That's the lenses so far. I mean, you can go for a stripe here. painting the reflections at the moment. A bit more. Yeah, just like that. Same goes for here. Okay, so that's the lenses so far. Focus! Here we go. That's the lenses, so what is next to paint is the gold. I like using my broken brushes to paint gold because metal colors are likely to pull your brushes after a while. So I'm using my broken size 0 brush here. Oh yeah. Again, most eating this head to get the right position to paint. Here we go. It's okay. It's okay too. Just like that. Nice. Let that dry again. Meanwhile, we'll be going back to adding water like always, and I'll be using the same brush for not that detailed work here on the lettering. I'm using the side of my brush so I don't mess up with the tip, because there is no tip. first part of the shield is done. Now painting the rims with my tip brush. Oh no. Okay. So the rims here are done. Sorry for sticking my head right into the camera there. Now it's more the rim work there along the letters. And after that, I can shade the head. Or not the head, but the gold on the head. Just give me a second, I'll show you what I'm talking about and what I'm using. Some more letter rims here. To shade, I'll be using Abrix Earth Shade Gloss. Don't know if that's still available in shops. One of the old colors. Pretty good for gold. Definitely pretty good for gold. And After that, I start highlighting the gold in 3 easy steps. Step 1 is my original gold tone that is Retributor armor. After that, I'll go for Auric armor, and as a last step, I'll be mixing Auric armor with some Runefang steel. And that's it for the gold. It'll look pretty good. Nothing more to do. So many letters, why? There we go, okay. Close those gaps here. Pretty sure I'm looking like Gollum here. Trying to paint those. Okay. Let's get some white and correct this small error here. Here we go. So, lettering is done. Oh. That's how the shield looks like now. Focus! So obviously this dot here will get red soon, and that's what the hat looks like by now. And like I said, for shading the gold, I'll be using Agrix Earthshade Gloss. This one. This will provide a gold shine. First, I'll apply the Auric armor. Sorry. What did I say? Auric armor? I mean, Johanna gold. That's the first thing. Just quite almost the same color, a little brighter. Gotta shake a little more. Fix that. Looks a little too dark, so I'll mix it with Auric armor. Here we go. Now a little water, and apply it right on the top corners here. Oh yeah, there are no corners on a ball, I guess. You know what I mean. Just like that. After that, we're going for pure Auric armor. Don't need much of that color because there's not much to paint. Same here. Only on the top. Let that dry for a short amount of time. That means for about 30 seconds. And after that, we'll apply the Hagrid's Earthshade gloss. That's with my broken brown again. That's you. I should mark it, maybe. Hey, so Earthshade, just load up your brush. Not too much, just like that. And apply it all over the gold. Make sure you get some of the Hagrid's Earthshade into the recessed area here, so you can give it a extra rim. That means it looks like you painted a darker color around those gold knots, which I didn't. I'm lazy. And draw your brush to the bottom part of the knot. That means the color will gather down there, so the top stays bright and the bottom gets darker. Don't try this at home. Don't use the size 1 brush, as I do. Okay, here we go. So, back to the auric gold. Just take a tiny amount, dip it on the top, like that. Take the Stormhost silver, it's called, not Runefang. Back in the day it was called Mithril silver. Give it a good shake and mix it with the rest of your auric armor gold. It gives you a silver goldish color thing. And now apply just a small dot right on the top. It's like a light reflection. Don't have to highlight gold with white or anything like that. You can, but only for dot highlights, and that's it. It's pretty much okay like that. Okay. Here we go. And with that, the head is complete. Doesn't look like much, but wait for it until it's added to the body. Like I said, I'll be varnishing these pieces and like all my minis with my special color. I'm using Top Coat, that one. It's a Japanese brand, but I really love what it's doing. So I'll let it dry. And when it's dry, I'll apply art coat on the lens, so it looks a little more glossy. That too, but what doesn't kill me isn't that bad. Meanwhile, I'll be painting the red dot on the shield. I'm always trying to use another red for the red dot of the enclaves symbol. Then I use for the armor because I think it looks a little boring. It's all the same red. And I'm still painting with the brush that has no tip. I'm stupid. Well, I started it, so I can finish it with this brush. So here we go. Red dot done. Next up is highlighting the black. I'll take Corvus black again for that. Not even much of it, because it's not that much black. And I'm going for a pretty thin highlight here. Okay, it's 4 p.m. here. I'll have to end the stream soon. I have realized I changed the brush when I changed the color. It wouldn't be fun to paint with a tipless brush. Okay, I'm mixing in just a micro droplet of Fenrisian Gray again to make it a little brighter. Not much, just a little. I want it to stay pretty dark. So that's all I'll do here. No fancy schmancy edge highlights or something like that, or dot highlights. It's just to underline the black. And a little more. That's good. Okay. So back to pure Ulthuan Grey. I made some stripes where I shouldn't have done. Just correct them. Like I said, minor mistakes are always completely reversible, so don't panic. Okay, mixing some yellow into our red for a highlight of the Mephiston red. Just like that, it's okay. And a little more. I added quite a lot of water, again, almost like glazing here. And using only one coat will make sure that it's not getting too orange or too red. Okay. And the next step is a little bloodletter right over it. That's a glaze actually. And I'll use this to make it, to give it a warmer look. And to underline the red. Also to marry the colors. Here we go. And with those colors complete, just like that. Focus camera. Thank you. I'll let this dry and I'll be back tomorrow. So thanks a lot for tuning in. And I guess we'll meet again in the next stream. Hopefully. So, bye-bye.